Back now to the return of Trayon White. He is projected to be the winner of the special election for the vacant Ward 8 D.C. Council seat. His apparent victory comes after he was expelled from D.C. Council in February. Joining us now to give us his perspective is former D.C. Bureau Chief Sam Ford, who covered D.C. for 7 News for more than 3 decades. Great to see you, Sam.
Good to be seen. Good to see you, Michelle.
So, Sam, your reaction first to Trayon White's apparent win here.
I was not surprised. I mean, if you think about it in some ways, Trayon White has been the council member over there for a while. Many of the people probably don't know any of it. And so it's just likely that he was, in fact, reelected.
Okay, we're going to try to work out what's going on with your camera there. But so you're not surprised by this. Okay, I hear that. When it comes to, coverage of him, we're showing some video of you in the past. You've covered so much of his career. What is it about him, the man, that you think really connects with the people?
Well, again, actually, Michelle, most of the people in Ward 8 did not vote for Trayon White. You had 3 other candidates. You had Sheila Bunn, who got a significant amount of votes. You had the lawyer, attorney Austin, who got a lot of votes. And then you had the ANC commissioner, who got a lot of votes. So most of the people did not vote for him, but he did have 30% of the vote, and that was enough to win in a 4-way race.
Absolutely. Now, is there precedence for a council member serving while in and out of a federal courtroom trying to prove his innocence? Because that's ultimately what will play out here.
Well, yeah. I mean, for example, Trayon White is not the first council member that's been under a cloud and basically for allegedly taking bribes or taking money. Back in 2012, it was Harry Thomas Jr., who was the Ward 5 council member. He ultimately pleaded guilty, but until he did that, he was on the council for a while. He pleaded guilty, then he went to federal prison, sentenced to federal prison for 3 years. A couple of years later, you had Michael Brown, who was a D.C. council member, caught on camera with money in his hand for the FBI sting. He served on the council, and then he pleaded guilty, and then he went away to prison. And so now you have Trayon White. It's almost the same thing. I mean, it's amazing how these things happen. But in this case, Trayon White has not pleaded guilty, or at least not yet. His trial is supposedly going to be starting in January. Who knows? Perhaps he waits until just before to plead guilty, or perhaps he goes through with the trial. The 2 previous council members that were sentenced to about 3 years each. I would think if he goes through a trial and loses, he'd probably get more time than that, and possibly he'd go right up to the date. One of the things was Trayon White, for example, had attorneys at first. Fred Cook, who used to be the D.C. Corporation Counsel, which was, like the city's lawyer, was serving as his attorney. But then at some point, Trayon White went to the public defender. So he doesn't have any money. In fact, he didn't have any campaign signs or anything as he ran in this race because he didn't have money to finance a campaign. And so in this case, he's basically, it's a chance if for real, if they don't expel him right away, there's a chance for him to make some money, at least between now and the trial.
And so while he's sorting out all of these legal matters, what does this all mean for the people of his ward?
Well, a number of the people of his ward, they're not going to really see much difference. I mean, the official word from the people who support other candidates is that their ward is destined to have no representation on the council, as it hasn't had since Trayon was expelled. So you could argue that, but I don't know that it's going to ultimately make a whole lot of difference one way or the other. But it depends on whether the council now goes back and tries to expel him again. Now, word is out that, for example, the chairman says it cost them $400,000 to make the case and expel him the first time. And he's saying, if it happens again, we don't want to go through this again. We want to have a situation where we can just say, we're going to accept the old evidence, and that will be sufficient and we don't have to spend another $400,000 to expel him again. Or maybe there's no effort to expel him at all. Times have changed somewhat. There'll be some criticism of D.C., having this guy on, and then some of the D.C. folks will say, well, a lot of you people outside of D.C. voted Trump back in after he was convicted of a felony. So you've got a lot of things that folks could say at this point as to whether, and the question is whether the council will move on him again or just let him stay on until after his trial. If he's convicted, obviously, he's going to be gone because he's going to be in prison. But likely be in prison. I guess the judge could say he didn't get prison time, but I'd be very surprised if he's convicted that he doesn't go to prison.
Sam Ford, always great to see you. It's been too long, friend. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us today.
Thank you, Michelle.
The calls for the Trump administration to release everything